this week we have such a special interview for you to watch. We actually got to sit down with some of our friends and donors, Fred and Mimi from Maryland, and they're just going to be talking about their life during the pandemic, what's been going on with them, ministry life, their kids, and all of that, work life, things that they've been going through. We really hope that this conversation encourages you and blesses you. And thank you so much for watching. Love you guys.
Hey guys!
Hey!
We're recording now.
We're recording now, and we're not gonna edit this part. Love you guys. So good to have you.
Guys. We miss you. We just realized we were talking. It's like will be 2 years that we haven't been down there.
I know. It's
yeah.
so sad.
It's sad. We miss you guys.
Yeah.
There's a place for you when you can come.
I know. Yay.
That's for sure.
Right.
So you guys, you've been coming to Peru with the exception of the past 2 years. How many times have you been coming to Peru on mission trips? Or how many years?
For me, 5 for you.
Yep, 6 for him, 5 for me.
Wow. You kind of liked it.
Not enough.
What's the thing that
we love you guys. We love everybody down there.
Sure.
What's your favorite thing about Peru? Not the dog, 'cause you guys have a dog, which name is Peru, but about Peru, the country.
And cats. Don't forget the cat park.
Yeah, that's true.
I think for me, it's the people. Right? Either the people we're working with Camino de Vida, or the people that we've served when we went down there. I love it so much. I think because of the ministry you guys are doing, I did not realize I could love a ministry so much or love another country so much, aside from my Minnesota. I did not realize. I did not realize.
Which is a country in and of itself.
Yes. I did not realize I could have such a desire to want to go someplace like that so much.
Wow.
You know, people ask me where I would want to go, like especially now during COVID, if you could travel anywhere, and people are talking about all of these beautiful places and like tropical places or whatever. And Lima, Peru, send me to Lima.
Wow.
Right?
Wow, that's awesome.
Along the same lines, for myself, it's the passion of the people in the church that you have down there. You are just so passionate about who you are serving, and you don't care about the haves and have-nots. You only care about taking care of people and letting them see who Jesus is through how you serve like Jesus serves.
The next question that we have for you, is one that is kind of general, but I think it'll give us some material to talk about, which is COVID. And how you guys been coping with COVID in this new season, this new world that we are in?
So just from a ministry standpoint, whereas you guys have been completely shut down and not able to go out, at the church, we've been really hard at work. And we've pivoted to doing ministry a very different way. Not just when people say a different way, typically they're saying, "Oh, we're doing it live stream now." Well, great, wonderful. Everybody in the world's doing live stream. But now it is how can we serve just that nucleus of a community that we're in, and how can we be the church to them? So whereas before we would have several ministries going out, for example, our church would take a trip down to Trujillo, Peru. And that was actually supposed to be happening this month, right now, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
So, whereas we have that, and we have a host of other missionaries that we're supporting, right now we've taken a lot of that money that we have, we're still sending it to those missionaries, but we've taken what we have left over and we focused on the 64,000 that are right in our nucleus of a community. We've added blood drives. We've done several food drives. Literally, people are still coming to the church and asking for hugs. I mean, it's
That's so cool.
crazy. Just even though people aren't touching, we are.
Yeah.
We're there. We're putting ourselves right in the middle of it.
When we talked before, you
That's
guys
awesome.
said that you were doing an indoor service and an outdoor service. How has that been?
So our older generation, we don't have a huge older generation, but we have a decent amount of older generation people in our church. And what we learned is that them, along with the government employees, said that they were not allowed to come to an indoor service.
Wow.
Many of our government employees actually had to sign a piece of paper that said they would not go to an indoor church service.
Wow.
And it would go in their human resource file. So we said, okay, we've got to figure something out for these folks that's beyond just the live stream. Basically, it is whoever's preaching gets up there and just does their sermon and discusses it with people as they're doing it. It's typically a 35, 40-minute service. And then we get set up for the full indoor service, which is literally the band and whoever we have on the band, I guess, is the best way to
Worship
explain
your
it.
service.
Yeah, there's no worship the 8:30 service, but the
Okay.
10:30 it's whatever band members we can scrape together, and whoever wants to come out. What we found is that the spoken word service is actually neck and neck with attendance to the indoor service.
Wow.
Wow. Now, to give it a little bit of context, you guys are in Maryland, and your church is what, 25 minutes from Washington?
Yeah, give or
DC?
take about 25, 30 minutes, give or
Yeah.
take, yeah.
That's awesome. There are some things you said that got me excited, and although I knew about it, but just hear it from you, you're in the middle of it. You both are in the middle of it. Our pastor has been talking about how this is a time for us to shine instead of, hiding or becoming some sort of self-absorbed. This is a time for us to shine as a church in the world. And it just got me excited to hear from you that you guys are impacting your community, because that's what we're supposed to do. So that's awesome.
And even like the food banks, we've pivoted those as well by changing how it's done. Normally it would be come in face to face, we'll hand you a box, that kind of stuff. Now it's literally drive up, give me your name through a mask, and open your trunk, and we'll drop a box in it, we'll close your trunk, and you drive away. We don't even come in contact with anybody other than to say hi to them. And we're averaging, give or take, about 200 to 300 people total served. 70, 80 cars, but 200 to 300 people between those cars.
Wow.
That's awesome. And now we're not talking about mega church. It's a small church. So there's no there's no excuses, right? For any church really to do something to impact their community.
Yeah.
Have you guys found any new activities, new habits? I don't know, Zumba, more Zumba, less Zumba?
I did all my
this-
nails.
Yeah. Wow. So it's been interesting because I'm a caregiver to two families right now. So I go to their homes, and it was so interesting to begin with because so many people stopped going anywhere, right? But I couldn't stop going anywhere because I had to take care of my clients. I had to take care of our families. So I was still going grocery shopping. I was still going out and doing things very limited, mostly just the grocery shopping because everything was shut down. But it's even become more of a ministry with them because they don't want to be exposed to anything because they're older, because they have health issues. I have to take precautions I would have never in a million years thought of having to take, right? And I don't live in fear for myself. I don't live in, but my concern is for them.
Yeah.
And, so I'm not concerned necessarily for myself, but they're in the forefront of my mind, and things that I probably, even during this time, I might do just because I want to, I won't because of my concern for my clients.
Mm.
And one of the fun things that I've started to do, and we've now started to do more, is inviting people to come over to spend time on our porch or on our patio in the back.
Wow.
That's so fun.
Yeah, it's been great because we're outside. There's enough room for us to socially distance and still have that connection one-on-one in person with people.
Mm.
And you know, I've just put it out there. If anybody wants to randomly come by, it's great because I don't have to clean my house.
There you go.
My
That's awesome.
porch is always clean. My patio is always clean, you know. So anytime they want, it's almost freeing for me. Come over, surprise me, you know. Before I want a notification. If you're coming over, give me an hour, you know, or something, or give me a day.
Right, right.
Now I'm like, drop by, come see us, you know, because I know there's so many people who are afraid to see other people or to be in contact with other people, but they want that, you know. And I'm an extrovert, so I need people. I need my people around me. I need to see people, you know. So
You got me.
I've got my husband. I just wanted it to be available to people, saying,
Wow.
We've had 2 groups over. We had the young adults over, where we had seven or 8 people total, and we just did a cookout out back in the backyard and all. And then, almost by surprise, kind
yeah,
of,
no, it's a surprise.
we put the offer out to our growth group on that we do a growth group every other Friday, which has been on Skype, but am I allowed to say that on Zoom? But we've been doing it on Skype, and so what we did was we put it out there the day before. It's like, anybody who wants to, just come on over. And everybody rejected us because it's like, well, it's going to be 100+ degrees. Well, 5 minutes, 10 minutes before
10 minutes before.
the growth group, we get calls from a whole bunch of people saying, hey, we're coming in. We'll see you in a
That's
few
so cool.
minutes. Oh, okay,
Wow.
great.
Yeah. But it's so wonderful. It's just so wonderful to be around people again. You know, not just passing people in a grocery store that I don't know, but to be in that fellowship with other believers. It fills me up so much
Wow.
to be with them, you know? Yeah.
Wow.
And it's so evident when I'm with them how much I've missed it. I don't realize how much I've missed it until I've been with them again.
Yeah.
It's like opening your eyes to things that you took for granted, right?
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
it's
Yep.
so cool. I hear you talking about this, and I can only think of a phrase that comes to my mind. It's, you guys are making yourselves available, right? It's kind of like you guys are making yourselves available, and it's a matter of perspective too. Because I think we were talking about the same thing with another couple that we love very much too, the drums from Missouri. And we were talking about this thing that our pastor Robert, our Pastor Robert, because you guys have your own Pastor Robert, he always talks about these 2 birds. One is the hummingbird and the other one is the vulture. And they both go out in the morning searching for food. And we know what the vulture is looking for, right? Dead things. And then the hummingbird is looking for things that are alive.
I love that. That's wonderful.
Such a beautiful thing, right?
I love
And
it, yes.
I love the perspective that you guys are bringing, because it's one of life-giving. You know, so many of us around the world can be thinking, oh my gosh, this is the worst of times. It's just a matter of which one you choose, pretty much, right? Because it's easy also
Right,
to have that.
but even if it's end times, we have hope. So we don't need to despair, right? Even if it's end times, what's coming? I mean, we should be hopeful. I mean, there's going to be a lot of despair for people who don't know Christ, right? But we have a hope. We have a future. We have a promise. So we don't ever have to despair, no matter what we're going through. We don't have to fear. I mean, it's easy to say, you know, harder to live on a day-to-day basis, but we have a hope that's beyond comprehension, you know, and that's where we need to live and to shine to everybody else who doesn't have that hope, who doesn't have that, who's living in despair and fear, right?
Yeah.
So if we can be that beacon of light in that darkness, what a gift that we have.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. I love that. We have a hope and we have a future. You're ready to preach, girl.
Amen.
Come on, Fred.
We'll put her on next week.
So have you guys been dealing with any kind of anxiety more, I mean, like due to COVID, anything? Have you had days where you were like, I don't know where this is going. This doesn't look good.
For myself, I mean, there's really just two times that I can think of. Number one, knowing our senior pastor, Pastor Robert, is a very much a people person, and not being able to see him shepherd his sheep one-on-one has really taken a toll on him. And it, for lack of a better term, it breaks my heart to see just how much it breaks his heart.
Right.
The other thing that I'm starting to see, and I'm literally just seeing it start to happen, is, and this is more political than anything, but it's more, I know, get ready. We're seeing churches rise up against churches now. And that is heartbreaking. And they're not like, it's not just the small churches that are, you know, independent fundamentalist Baptist versus PCUSA kind of stuff. It's like John MacArthur coming out saying we're going to stand against the government, and J.D. Greear coming out and saying, well, we're going to support the government and try it this way. And it's really heartbreaking to see those two leaders go at each other and that kind of stuff, because they really are leaders who are well respected.
Yeah.
And to see our smaller churches like ours to, okay, where do we make those decisions? So, I mean, that I guess is one point of anxiety, is saying, okay, if we're going to jump off the fence here, which direction do we jump, and is it the right one?
Yeah.
Right. There's it's crazy how similar things could be, even though we're in two very different countries. I love what also our pastor always says, because it gets political every time there's crisis, right? And here, like in the States, in Peru, in South America, we also have left wing and the right wing. And Pastor Robert always says, you know, I don't want left wing or the right wing. I want the whole bird, right? And we love that, because it helps us to just being about people and not about politics, which is hard for sure.
You look at like the foundation, for example, like I'll use our patio, our back patio as an example. If you stand in the middle of it, that's where the most solid ground is. But if you go too far to the right, too far to the left, those bricks start to go this way.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a dangerous place to be. If you go too far right or left, you need to stand on the solid ground.
Exactly. It's awesome. So I guess the last question we would like to ask you guys, what's your big takeaway from this time? It's not over, but so far.
I think for me, it's just having more concern for other people and not necessarily just myself, which, I mean, I try to live that way anyhow, but you know, whether it's the controversy over masks wearing or not wearing masks or something like that, as well as, you know, grocery shopping for my clients and that kind of thing, or going out when normally they would go out, you know, just taking the focus off myself, because who wants to wear a mask? You know, I would rather not wear a mask, but my concern is for the other people, you know, and scripture tells us to consider others more important than ourselves and love others. And if I can do that by wearing a mask for a half an hour or an hour or something like that, I'm willing to do it. You know, it doesn't hurt me to wear my mask. I really, you know, everybody has their own opinion, and I'm not saying one way or the other, but, you know, my concern is more for other people than myself. And that's really been my biggest takeaway from the past 5 months.
Wow, that's so cool.
For myself, it is that nobody knows what they're talking about. They really don't. I mean, you've got all these people saying, this is how you should run your church. This is how you should run your family. This is through all of this time. Well, all those people have never been through this kind of time before. So nobody knows what they're talking about, including myself, herself. None of us, we're making this up as we go along.
Yeah.
And all we can do is the best we can to keep people safe. But no matter what, life is a risk. And if you're going to be out in public, you're going to be in risk, and there's no way around it. And so it's like all we can do is look at the moment that we're in and try to do the very best that we can in that moment.
Yeah, yeah, totally. That's so true for this moment, really, because everyone is going through the same, but at the same time, it's different.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
different. Yeah, it's what a crazy time.
I mean,
No-
the
no
last
one-
time we had a pandemic in America was 1918 or 1919,
Yeah.
whatever, right? With the flu. And during that time, they closed every church down. They kept every church closed. I mean,
People
it
were
was,
wearing masks.
people were wearing masks everywhere. It's like, hey, what did they do that was different that caused that thing to end in like less than a month versus what we're doing that is causing it to go on for probably pushing a year by the time
Yeah,
it'll be.
Yeah.
that's so true. Yeah, I do have a suggestion for masks. Just get the best one you can, like the best design and everything. I love the one that I
Look the
got.
best you can.
I look like a ninja, and so I love going out with it.
Oh my gosh,
So,
that's amazing.
I just need to move like a ninja.
The masks out there. Who knew that masks would become a fashion statement, right?
Right, there we go.
No one.
I mean, you can get a mask for just about any hobby or design, or you can do the Fred paper
And meanwhile, I
mask.
just do the paper mask that I find anywhere.
There you go.
That's awesome.
I
Simple,
never
but-
thought I would be looking through baskets trying to find another cute mask. Like, how many masks do you need, right? But I'm like, "Ooh, one more. You know?
One with every outfit.
Oh my.
Right.
If you have any masks down there that have llamas on them, send them up to her.
Okay. Okay, there we
We'll
go.
find you one.
We can make that happen.
I have a llama mask. No, I've got a llama mask.
That's right.
Yeah, I have a llama
That's
mask.
so cool. Okay, guys, we're gonna finish this part, not our conversation, but we're gonna finish this part of the little interview. We thank you so much for being available, also for us, making yourselves available for us. We love you so much, and
Yes.
we know that this is gonna bless someone for sure. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for doing this, and we love you guys just as much.